Hi, it's Matt from Go Green Auto. So this video is about who buys Teslas. Here in the UK, the Tesla Model 3 was the best-selling car in April 2020. This was because all the traditional dealerships with showrooms were closed as we were in the lockdown due to the virus, and the car deliveries had halted. However, the Jaguar I-Pace, which is also electric, was the second best-selling car, so I'm not quite sure how that was. Anyway, it was great to see two EVs at the top of the sales chart, and I'm sure a sign of things to come one day. So this video is about who buys Teslas, well, more specifically about the types of vehicle Tesla buyers are part exchanging. As you may well know if you've been watching my channel, I sell used electric vehicles in the UK. Here are three EVs which I've just got in, which have all come from Tesla and were vehicles they took in part exchange. A 5-year-old Nissan Leaf Tekna with the 24 kWh battery. This 3-year-old Hyundai Ioniq Electric with the 28 kWh battery. And this 40 kWh Nissan Leaf Tekna that is only 11 months old. All are fully electric and the sort of vehicle you would expect Tesla would be taking in part exchange as drivers upgrade to a longer range EV. Indeed, I've had many customers who have had EVs off me in the last 3.5 years who have now upgraded to a Tesla. Mostly this was when the Model 3 first came available in the UK in late summer last year. Many of those had a Renault Zoe 22 kWh and this was their first EV, and then took the jump to a Model 3 costing around 7 times more than they paid for the Zoe. As Tesla were the only manufacturer who was still delivering vehicles during the lockdown, they were accumulating these part exchanges, and a couple of weeks ago, as things started to relax a little, I purchased these three EVs. This then gave me the idea to look at the part exchanges Tesla had taken in and see if I could glean anything from it. So I thought I'd make this video to share some stats that others may find, well, mildly interesting. You would expect that people buying a premium car at over £40,000 would have previously owned another premium or expensive car, and maybe you'd expect many of these people to have previously driven an EV or even a hybrid before taking the plunge to buy such an expensive fully electric car. Like some of my previous customers who purchased a cheap Renault Zoe, and they were cheap back then try out electric driving with a more affordable EV, are then converted and then later upgrade to a Tesla or another higher range EV. So let's look at what vehicles they took in part exchange. This sample was of 97 vehicles. This is quite convenient as it's nearly 100 and gives us the percentages. Firstly, we'll look at fuel types. 48 of these cars were diesel. No big surprise really, as diesel is by far the most popular type of vehicle on the road due to the flawed promotion of the fuel by recent governments with the tax. 37 were petrol, only 6 were petrol hybrids, and 6 were pure electric EVs. So this means only 12.4% of the vehicles were eco cars, i.e. not pure fossil fuel vehicles. This is very interesting as it suggests most people buying a Tesla are buying their first EV, or maybe some of them are buying a second EV and part exchanging their second vehicle to go fully EV. Now let's look at the brands. You can't really read much into this as most manufacturers offer a wide range of vehicles, with the exception of some like Smart, Mini, Porsche and Jaguar Land Rover. There were quite a few Audis, most were Audi A3s, a couple of Q5s. Most of the BMWs were 3 Series, no surprise there as these are likely to be Model 3 buyers. Cars like Seat, Skoda, Smart, a Fiat 500, a Toyota Aygo and Vauxhall Astras were all surprises. Volkswagen were the most common brand. Most were Golfs, but pretty much every model from the wide range of vehicles were part exchanged, from the Up to the Tiguan. Next I group these brands in terms of how premium they are, or the badge snobbery if you like. You would traditionally expect buyers of a premium vehicle to be switching from another premium brand. For an example, a Mercedes buyer is likely to have come from another Mercedes, or a German brand like Audi or BMW, or possibly Jaguar Land Rover. But with the lack of choice when it comes to EVs, there will be a lot of brand switching going on when people decide to buy an EV. And of course Tesla is a new brand and American, so of course all buyers are brand switching. But as you can see, the majority are coming from premium German brands and Jaguar Land Rover, with nearly as much from mainstream European and Asian brands. Next, I looked at the value of the cars. The age of the vehicles is also reflected here, as the age dictates the price of the vehicle. This is what surprised me the most. There were some cars that were only worth a few £100, and I was surprised to see that some people have clearly undertaken a big upgrade at a huge financial cost. After all, the cheapest Tesla in the UK is £40,500, or around £500 a month on finance, rising to just shy of £123,000 for a top-spec Model X. As you can see from the graph, the majority of cars taken in part exchange were worth under £5,000, and of these 37 vehicles, 8 were worth only a few £100s, pretty much scrappers. Cars that were worth under £1,000, and to be honest were pretty much scrappers, were a couple of 15-year-old Audi A3 diesels, one with 120,000 miles, the other with 184,000 miles, a Ford Focus of the similar age with 133,000 miles, a 2004 Honda Jazz with 162,000 miles, a 2009 Seat Leon diesel with 128,000 miles, and even a 2002 Volkswagen Golf with 196,000 miles. There were a few expensive part exchanges, however. 4 were worth more than £30,000. These were a 2017 Jaguar F-Pace, a 2018 Land Rover Discovery, a 2017 Range Rover, and a 2017 Porsche 911 Carrera. I suspect it's likely these buyers were getting a Model S or X. So in conclusion, what can you read into all these part exchanges? Well, clearly the majority of Tesla buyers are trading in a nice vehicle, so it's likely this is their first EV. And they're trading in many older and cheaper cars than you'd expect, and are taking quite a jump in terms of their financial spend or commitment. So maybe the Model 3 is the car for the masses, as Elon Musk predicted when he announced the Tesla Master Plan right back when the Roadster was launched in 2008. If you like this video, please click the thumbs up button, as it allows others on YouTube to find it. And if you're interested in EV content, subscribe to the channel and click the bell button so you are notified when I upload a new video.